So this channel is dedicated to exploring the fringes of the NES library, the obscure, rare, or simply unloved titles that no one played. No one. Not even me, and definitely not you. I've done the research, so you just have to trust me on this, and please repost my opinions as facts on whatever social media you use. I just posted a video where I kind of go over my thoughts on what constitutes a hidden gem exactly, especially when it comes to the NES, so I'll link to that one in the description if you want to hear my over-analytical rant on the subject. But basically, there's games I want to talk about on this channel that I think are both relatively unknown and worth playing, so fuck it, I'm gonna call them hidden gems. For context, these would be fun, playable games you may not know about, even if you're deep into the NES library. So no Clash at Demon Heads, no Shatterhands, no Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom. We are at the bottom of the Nintendo well here, people, and we are chewing on mud, hoping that life-giving water seeps out. Maybe not that dire, but you get the point. These recommendations are for the worn hard and put up wet NES enthusiasts out there. Anyway, the first game in this series I'm going to discuss is one I talk about all the time in passing, but now it's time to review in detail, KICKMASTER. KICKMASTER was released in 1992 and was developed by Kid, who also made a few other games I've reviewed recently like Low G-Man and Burai Fighter. They also made the excellent G.I. Joe games, Mendel Palace, Isolated Warrior, and the pinball title Rockin' Ball. In KICKMASTER you play as Thanalan, who looks like a combination of Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden and Simon Belmont from Castlevania, and those games are pretty clearly the inspiration for KICKMASTER. The story is the usual save the princess fare, but told with these really great cutscenes. I mean, damn, look at that spread. My favorite thing about this game is that you initially start off with Thanalan, the martial artist, and his brother Macron, a knight. With the very first enemy they encounter, Macron is killed, saying, "My steel is no match for these creatures. Only with your great kicking skills can we hope for victory." That's so dope. Like, you wanted to make a game about kicking people, and then you had to go back into the story to explain why your main character's foot skills were so important. Amazing. The graphics are excellent, some of the best on the system. If you've seen a lot of my other videos, you may have spotted this perler bead project on the wall of my studio, and yeah, this is actually from an 8-bit NES game. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say this is probably the finest example of pixel art on the system. It's unbelievable. And that's not the only standout. Check out this amazing octopus. By today's standards, these bosses may appear pretty tame, but just compare them to the dungeon enemies from Legend of Zelda released 5 years earlier. It's night and day. The music and sound are really good, very much a hybrid of the aforementioned Castlevania and Ninja Gaiden. The controls are really interesting, and actually push the boundaries of what an NES controller can do. Considering that the NES only has the B and A buttons, they gave Thanalan 10 different attacks. 10! That's insane! Turtles 3 is the only NES game I can think of where your character has more than 4 attacks, and I thought that was the pinnacle, but KICKMASTER blows it out of the water. There's even this neat little demo screen that goes through all the various kicks for you. The real standout quality of this game though is its action. KICKMASTER has elements of RPGs, such as the use of magic and experience points leading to leveling up. Every time Thanalan levels up, he gains a new kick move ranging from a drop knee attack from above to a sliding kick from below. They are, for the most part, very awesome and add a dynamic to the gameplay that is both fun and addictive. I say for the most part because a couple of them can really fuck you over. The flying jump kick, for instance, will absolutely send you leaping uncontrollably into a pit, as will the slide. The one that's a true mixed blessing is the regular attack. It upgrades twice over the course of the game, and the final upgrade is a 2-second long animation, which means if you miss your target, or were trying to do another move but the controller didn't respond correctly, your dude just flails about, leaving you totally vulnerable. As if your guy wasn't powerful enough, Thanalan also gets magic, up to 12 different spells. There's a healing spell, this one where it creates a shadow clone of you, and my favorite, the Invincible Lightning. Whenever you kill an enemy, they fling 3 random items in the air, and one of these increases your MP. At first, you'll want to grab the EXP ones to raise your stats, but later on, hoarding MP is absolutely essential for beating the bosses. The game does have a bit of a weird difficulty balance. The first 7 levels are pretty easy for an NES game, and as you level up and get more magic, your guy gets stronger, which in turn makes the levels easier. On top of that, you have infinite continues, so eventually with patience you will succeed. That is, until the final level. For the first time all game, your character can now easily fall down the pits, and the stage is designed to make you fall down all of them. Not to mention, you have a full-on boss fight multiple times as you ascend, which kind of reminds me of the gauntlet of boss battles at the end of Illusion of Gaia and ActRaiser for the Super Nintendo. It's still really fun, but even with infinite continues, you're gonna start chucking your controller in frustration. Overall, I wouldn't be calling this a hidden gem, and I wouldn't talk about it as much as I do if I didn't think it was worth playing. It's awesome. KICKMASTER has become a bit pricey over the years, up over $100 for a cartridge, spurred upward by, videos like this. Hyping your own video game collection is the new insider trading, y'all. Hop on quick.